Hey traders, checking out of the stock market today. Bit of a recovery day for the market overall. We had tech and the financial sector and XLV all going up, but growth names are still getting crushed. They are remaining inverse to the financial sector, and we're going to keep a close eye on that relationship between these two groups of names. Let's see what the bulls need to do in the short term to prove bounce follow through for tomorrow. So we can see on SPY we had a higher open, which isn't what I wanted to see. I wanted a gap down open to be looking for significant bounces this morning from the video yesterday, and we didn't get that, so I did a little bit less aggressive trading today. I want the trade to come to me if I'm going to be aggressive. I want the ideal scenario, and if it's a bit less clear, then I trade less. Very simple. So SPY had the higher open, but unable to break the high of yesterday, so it's a daily inside bar, and the bulls need to prove follow through on the bounce by breaking the high of today, tomorrow. We did confirm an hourly trend change into the close with zero follow through. So rather than closing up at the high of the day with momentum, really the last 15 minutes, the bears took over and snatched that away from the bulls because it was right there. We were closing strong on tech and in SPY, and in the last 15 minutes, high bear volume shook things up a little bit. So if the inside bar breaks bullish on SPY, we scout a daily lower high compared to 422.82, the all-time high. And if the inside bar breaks bearish, then we haven't bottomed yet on this drop. That being said, the financial sector bulls did a really good job of proving themselves today. And we'll look at that in just a second. Nasdaq, we know, has more proving to do than anybody, the tech sector and QQQ here. And just looking at the daily chart, we broke the low of yesterday. Not much follow through. Zooming in, there was an hourly falling wedge that broke bull and then back tested. So hourly falling wedge, had it at a different spot from up here. So, man, that's a bad resistance line. But hourly falling wedge, broke it bull, back test, trying to set the higher low, and then into the end of the day, we're ending with an equilibrium. So how this hourly equilibrium on the Nasdaq futures breaks overnight, and it will likely break overnight, the direction that it breaks is going to have significant short-term implications for Friday, tomorrow. Look at the 4-hour time frame. Every bounce is rejecting from the EMA 12 resistance, and if it breaks bullish, we're going to get over that level if the hourly equilibrium breaks bull, and if the hourly equilibrium breaks bear, we're going to stay rejecting from that level and test the lows. So it's another kind of day where overnight is going to dictate whether or not the bulls can confirm the trend change and see follow through for a higher open. IWM, just a daily inside bar. Bulls have to break that bullish in their favor tomorrow to confirm an hourly trend change. Then we would zoom out. We would scout a daily lower high, anything under 225.93. And if it's a bear break, we're right back at the low with 208 and 207 as the next key double bottom from back earlier this year. Financial sector. So again, you look at this daily chart and the bulls are just fine. The only thing that stands out to me is there is notable bear volume on the last couple of days, but what I would need to see from here is an inability to set a new all-time high over 38.26, and then the bears would have to drop down and break 36.54 support to confirm a daily downtrend and confirm a bigger picture shift in momentum. And I am cautiously and curiously watching, do we have to see financial sector consolidation for money to flow back into these growth names? Because again, their monthly time frames, the last 3-4 months, are very much inverse to each other. And today's just the perfect example where XLF is up 1.6%, the strongest sector on my screen, and I'm looking at the growth names, and ARC was red by 2.6%. We had the biotech sector red by 1.3%, NIO, the electric vehicle space, down 7%. The growth names that have been consolidating for 4 months, and I'm just putting any name that shot with a huge bull move up in 2020 and then has been consolidating on the monthly time frame for 3 to 4 months. They're all in the same category. And they've been doing the same thing for the most part. They're not related by sector. You know, the biotech sector and NIO have been trading very similarly in that same grouping. And we're watching to see, would XLF consolidation lead to money flowing back into these names? Certainly no sign of it at this point. I did make an entry into ARC today, and that's just looking for a daily bounce and liking the potential psychology of what appeared to be a capitulation day Monday, zero follow through for the bulls, stop out the last of the bulls with a bear break and a lack of follow through, and then see the bulls take over in the short term for a daily bounce. This is not a high conviction trade. I entered at 99.80 and day traded it 5 times into the close to drop my break even to 98.15, and my stop is going to go under 97. Very comfortable with that risk to reward, and this is the kind of trade, again, not high conviction. This is me saying I've had a great week and I can risk a fraction of my profits taking my first stab ever at a bullish entry on ARKK. If I stop out, all that means is any next attempts that I make looking for a monthly high or low, I will have to take the conservative route rather than just continuing to try and be aggressive and banging my head against the wall and continuing to stop out. I'll give it one attempt, small risk, good reward. My risk is $1.20 and my reward is $10 if we were to get a daily bounce going. XLV Healthcare, possible daily head and shoulders that we're going to have to keep an eye on. This would be the left shoulder, the head. So again, if we fail the all-time high and drop down and break 121.61, that confirms a daily downtrend and confirms a more significant shift in momentum. And we know that the weakness we've seen in the broader market over the last week plus has been the tech sector, and there were a few days where the healthcare and financial sector joined in, but overall, this weakness belongs to the tech sector in my opinion. And if we confirm daily downtrends on XLF and XLV, that won't be the case. It will be notable sector-wide consolidation. Biotech sector held the low down at 118.23, but if we do not break 127.47, the bulls prove nothing to us. So just the only 2 levels I care about are those 2, and we know the burden of proof is on the bulls to shift that momentum. We've been watching this 4-hour falling wedge. Going to remove extended hours just to condense things a little bit here and make it more visually appealing. So keeping an eye on this bigger picture, but we're not even anywhere near resistance. We'd have to break that short-term 127.47 level bullish, and then we'd keep an eye on this downtrending resistance line. But overall, again, lumping it in with the growth names, and bulls not proving anything at this point. SMH, potential daily bear flag, very weak bounce. Today, notably, semiconductors standing out weaker than the tech sector as a whole. We've already seen one bear flag confirm. If we confirm another one, the next support level is 216.14. And on this bounce, anything under 245.50 is just a daily lower high. Very weak bounce. Bears still in full control of SMH. TAN still very weak. So again, we have that low of 67.69. It's still holding. We've had a lower high every day, 13 days in a row, except for one day. So that is certainly bear control. And again, all I'm looking for is just short-term relief for a daily bounce to scout a lower high in these growth names. And just being a little bit aggressive, looking for that to potentially set up. But for TAN, not much going on for the bulls. Have to break 70.95, and then we would scout a daily lower high compared to 77.52. MSOS, bear break of the daily inside bar. Bulls just trying to hold 37.56 at this point, and a failure to confirm an inverse head and shoulders. Really a big fail day on May 10th, and the bears have had control since. So at this point, we're looking for a weekly higher low to try and form. Bulls would have to hold 37.56 and break 44.14 to confirm a weekly trend change back in their favor. And again, I'm lumping these in with the growth names as well, with multiple months of consolidation underway. The VIX. So the VIX did lose the hourly uptrend. We confirmed an hourly bear flag into the close, but just like SPY confirmed the hourly trend change with no follow-through, we currently have an hourly bear flag confirmed with no follow-through as well. A lot is going to hinge on how the Nasdaq breaks that hourly equilibrium in extended hours trading tonight. The dollar, a little bit of bounce follow-through, but still just scouting a daily lower high. And then if we set it, we'll be watching for the potential of an inverse head and shoulders to be shaping up on the daily. And we know the bulls have to prove it to us. Gold. Gold's looking for a daily higher low. It's still holding EMA 12, so no red flags. Still healthy consolidation. Nice recovery today after a big bear day yesterday. Silver's a bit weaker, but it too is holding the daily EMA 12 and trying to keep that daily uptrend going. No major red flags on the metals. Ideally, they want to set that daily higher low heading into the weekend. And miners, low of Tuesday, 36.50, broke that level by 7 pennies, but still holding the daily EMA 12 and still a potential daily bull flag at this point. Oil. Very notable bear break on oil. So this is a bear break with zero follow through, a rejection from resistance, and now a big red day getting a bit of follow through. The weekly time frame is still an inside bar, but it's looking closer and closer, like weekly consolidation may be underway. Bears just need a little bit more follow through, but that's a convincing triple top rejection from resistance. And essentially, a break of this uptrending support line. We'll see if the bears get follow through. They failed to last time. Just looking for a 4-hour lower high next bounce. Natural gas is still holding on just fine. Daily EMA 12. Got the bull break. Not much follow through behind that bull break, but again, keeping control overall as long as daily EMA 12 holds. So what did I do today? Not much. Still holding SQQQ. Bulls didn't prove it, so I'm still holding that swing position. The ARC position that I entered is giving me a little bit of a bull lean overnight tonight. Not a significant one, but a bit of one. So we'll see what we get into tomorrow. It's the kind of scenario where unless there's a massive gap down, even if we open lower tomorrow, you know, in worst case, I would probably be waking up with a half-day loser, which is no biggie. Still staying mostly balanced. At this point, you know, sometimes when I have high conviction, like Monday, I had a pretty notable bear lean, but right now I'm just doing these tiny fluctuations right around even between all the positions I'm holding. So ARC plus day trading to lower that average. Gonna try and swing trade it. And other than that, I did a Tesla falling wedge again, just like PLTR yesterday. One of the trade examples was the falling wedge, and I did the same thing on Tesla. And it was a 5-minute. No, I was watching it on the 2-minute. And it was right here, and posted in the chat room after this second break. Here's the low of the day. After the second break of the low of the day, only gets followed through by $2. I say, okay, bear break, lack of follow through. I'm scouting a falling wedge. So from there, the way that I play falling wedges is I will make an entry on a new low of the day break, and then I'll sell half into a lower high. And what happens if we just keep dropping and a new low of the day gets followed through? I stop myself up at a day loser. And it's not a support level that I'm using. It's a dollar amount that I'm willing to risk. So did that once, half position in, sold half to lower my break even. New bear break, I re-enter a half, little bit of a bounce, I exit half. And I think this one, it was entry in the 568s, exit right around 570. So again, just dropping my break even right down near the low of the day. And then we ended up getting follow through. And I believe I took the rest of it in the 577s or so. I posted the actual trades on Twitter, but I forget what the exact numbers were. But that was a solid little win there. That was maybe a 60, 75% day maker. So overall, it's been a consistently good week in both directions, both swing trading and day trading, and just continuing to keep that balance going, one step at a time. So can the Nasdaq bulls confirm an hourly trend change overnight tonight, or do we reject from 4-hour EMA 12 resistance and keep the bears in complete control? Continuing to watch the correlation between the financial sector and our growth names, one day at a time. Do good things. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, party. See you tomorrow. Nope. See you over the weekend if you're a member. See you Monday if you're not.
Boys, what are we doing right now? We're trekking. We won't see any of that for 7 days. It's a week. Pretty pumped. Won't see many of these people either. I don't. We'll see plenty of that. Plenty of that running water. Plenty of those guys. Check them out. Damn. Dollar stuff hanging from the bears.
Nice easy access.
Mountain up, we're all mountain up. Dan, those are the craziest shorts. I just need to get like the shimmeriness. Look at that. Dan is hiking in those guys today. That's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive.
Alright, I say we don't go up that trail. I say we just go this way and then meet the trail.
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, got our iodine water. Look at that color. Look at the, just let's get the color of this water. Oh, great. Quality water. Yeah.
I feel like my day 2 pack is
Much better than day 1 pack.
Much better than day 1.
I mean, you live in.
I abandoned the double shotgun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Let's check it out now. You went with the stack.
I
The
went with
stack.
the
As with mine. Don't know if you can see it, but we went with the strategic stack. Standard camping procedure.
I got this on my
Fanny pack.
yeah, a little fanny pack, a lot better, not hanging off the back.
Easy access. Easy
Extra
access.
weight,
You've
yeah.
got a nice little knife there.
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling very good about the pack.
Look at those antlers.